Okay, so if you guys could just go around and introduce yourself and say who you are and what grade you're in and maybe what you participate in. Um, and yeah, and you guys are all alumni of LaSalle, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, who would like to start?
I got it. I'm Samantha Robinson. I am a current junior, but I will be a senior next year. And I'm in show choir and cheerleading and the musical choir, all of the music things.
I'm Hope Schulte. I'm currently a junior. I'm also like a cheerleader. I'm in soccer and cross country and
I'm Jack Lux, same grade as them, junior, will be a senior next year. I participate in football, basketball, track, and baseball, as well as choir stuff, and I think that's about it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are all really involved, which is great. First question, whoever wants to answer it first can go. What is the best and worst thing about high school? That was kind of a vague one, so.
I'd say the best thing is like the relationships that you build with people that you didn't know before. Like your friend group is a vast majority of people. It's a lot of different people. Whether you're really close to some and not really close to some, you're like friends with a lot more people. So I think that's the best thing, is just meeting new people. The worst thing, I mean, obviously, like, it's the start of your career for the rest of your life. So, I mean, it's a little bit stressful, but it's not anything that, I mean, you can't handle. Obviously, everybody does it. So
I'd say the best and worst thing are kind of the same for me. Just that everything changes a lot, which is really good and sometimes hard at the same time. So I feel like Jack said, you meet so many people and you learn so much about yourself and what you want to do in the future and all that. And that's super fun, and it's super fun to learn about yourself and about your friends and all of that, but it also comes with hardship too. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just change. It's hard to cope with at times, but it is better in the end.
I'd say the best thing is like the different activities you can be involved in, because that's where you mainly probably meet most of your friends, and you get to have fun doing whatever you want. And I guess I'd say the worst thing is trying to manage it all between the activities you're in and schoolwork and a bunch of other things if you have a job or something. So
Okay. Yeah, but it's a lot on your plate, but you learn to do it right. It's doable. Yep.
yes.
Okay, this one's kind of a basic question, but will they get lost? How did you guys not get lost going into high school?
no, you won't get lost. It's not hard at all. Once you go in and go through visit for the first time and go through where your classes are, and which hallway, every hallway is categorized by which section is. So there's a world history or social studies hallway, there's a religion hallway, there's a science hallway, English hallway, all that stuff. So once you figure out where your classes are, it's not hard at all. And I mean, I think most people pick it up pretty easily.
Although I will say, for me, they gave us, and I'm sure they will give this class the same thing, but they gave us a map our first day and at freshman orientation. And even though it wasn't that hard to figure out, I definitely relied on that. So between that and just asking seniors or upperclassmen for help, that is how I managed my way freshman year.
Awesome. I didn't
They're
know
also
they gave you
squares too. So it's kind of they're like rectangles and squares, got to get around. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Just a big loop. Yeah.
yeah.
just a big loop. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, how long is each class period?
I'd say about 80 minutes.
80 minutes. But you got to give or take 5 to 10 minutes for the beginning and end of class. So, I mean, a lot of times teachers will not start right at the bell, or they'll finish a little bit early. So, I mean, give or take 80 minutes, but each period bell-wise is 80 minutes.
And we do it a lot differently, which I'm sure they've kind of explained to incoming freshmen, or they will. we have block scheduling, so we have 4 classes each day. So that's why they're so long. So it's back and forth each day. You'll have 4 of like your first classes and then 4 of the other 4 classes the next day.
Okay. Do you get a free period?
That's kind of up in the air for next year, because we're doing a little bit of a new thing next year with our communities. So generally speaking, like the last however many years, we've had an Excel period, which is 45 minutes long in between your first and second block. So generally speaking, yes, you would. Next year, I don't know how that's going to look.
I think you will have it at least 1 day a week. So there are just like more activities. It'll be a good change one way or the other, because you'll get to like do more fun things during that hour, is from what we've heard. So at least 1 time a week, I'm sure there will be like a study hall period.
Okay.
Excel is also like kind of your homeroom, sort of, kind of, because you like are with them a lot.
Okay, cool. Can you bring food into the classroom?
Not really.
No, you're not supposed to.
Okay. So what happens if you get caught with food?
I don't know if you get a demerit or not. It kind of depends on the teacher, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it depends probably on what that is, what you are eating, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
Valid point. How do you change your schedule?
The guidance office is right downstairs by the main office. And they have like 3 or 4 counselors who are really great, and you just work with them and tell them you want to switch, and then they'll help you from there.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you do if you have gym? I assume they mean like the changing everything. You have locker rooms and stuff.
Right. So like for me, I've had gym first period, I think all 3 years, every single time I've had gym, or last period. So if I have it first period, usually what I do is you do have enough time after gym class to shower if you need to. So generally that's what I do. I just come to school, go to gym class, and then I'll shower after gym and change into my stuff. And you can do that too if you have it middle of the day and you feel like you need to shower, you can shower in between. Usually they give you like 15 to 20 minutes at the end of class. So.
Cool. You just pack your clothes if it's in the middle of the day, and then just go in the locker room.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to make these 2 questions into one. Are the classes much harder than middle school? And how many more papers will we have to write than middle school?
I'd say their teachers are pretty good at like adjusting you to like high school. Like it's not like you're gonna go and join a senior class, like they know you're freshmen. So like it's not that bad. Like you'll definitely get used to it. And I'd say we write papers kind of probably more frequently just in like English classes a lot of the time.
I feel like it's like definitely a challenge compared to middle school. Like how Hope said, it's like they ease you into it, but compared to middle school, there's more work to do, and there's more independent learning on your part. And but like at this point, it would feel easy to do it any other way for us, because that's just what you get used to at Xavier.
Yeah, I'd say generally you have at least 1 paper per semester in English class. Generally those are your finals. And then you might have a couple in between depending on what you guys are doing. But freshman year is like a good, like they said, it won't be very hard, but they'll start easing you into like, you have to do a lot more stuff. You'll have a lot more homework, obviously. You have to manage your time. And then as you get into sophomore, junior, senior year, a lot of this stuff they'll give you an assignment and you just have to go home or go after class and figure out how to do it.
So did you guys rely on like any, do you get extra help from teachers? Like if you're struggling in a certain class or subject, what does that look like?
So the Excel hours that we mentioned earlier, that's like a prime time when people go and like get help from like teachers or like ask questions. And then like the teachers are really nice. So like you can approach them at any time you want, or like they'll help you.
And most teachers are really, really great about emailing and will answer you pretty much immediately as long as it's like right after school. So I email my teachers all the time too.
Another thing is there are what are called extras, which are there are students who are generally junior or seniors. There can be sophomores though, and they'll help you if you need them to look over a paper for you and peer edit a paper, or if you need help on a specific class assignment, you can go to one of them, and if they know how to help you, they can help you too. So that's nice.
Oh, cool. That's very cool. Okay, switching gears from academics a little bit. How much do your current friendships change when you go to high school?
So that was like my biggest fear going into freshman year. I just really did not want that to change of all things. And I know, especially coming from LaSalle and not being the biggest middle school, that's also terrifying because there's so many people from Regis and St. Joe's to meet, and other schools. And so I would say I definitely got new friends and kind of expanded my friend group. But overall, the people that you want to be friends with throughout high school will stick by you. Like, you can expand your friend group, not necessarily change it, is what I would say.
I think I agree with that. I think if you want to, it's kind of up to you, because if you want to be friends with somebody that you're friends with right now, more than likely throughout high school, if you stick with them, stay in communication, there's a good chance you'll stay friends. But like Samantha said, it varies, because at LaSalle you have we had 45 kids graduate LaSalle in our 8th grade. And so then you go to Xavier, which has 150 give or take kids. And so you're always going to expand, meet new people, but that doesn't mean, like Samantha said, you have to lose friends.
Yeah, I definitely think you'll most likely branch out more, because I have like a bunch more friends now than I definitely did in middle school. But if you want to still like keep those connections, you definitely can try.
Okay. Samantha, you kind of made a really good transition to my next question. What was your guys' biggest fear going into high school, and how did that turn out now that you are in high school?
My biggest fear was workload, because like for me, and I mean, there are people obviously who have done it before. My middle brother Gabe did it. If you're involved, like a lot of my friends are, and like I am, where I play 4 sports, I'm in choir. It takes up a lot of my extra time after school. It's hard to get enough sleep, proper nutrition, get all your homework done, get all your study in. So that was my biggest concern. But as you go from freshman year on, it becomes easier because you understand how to manage your time better. So it was all right.
I'd say I was just afraid of a bunch of like little things. Like I was like, how does lunch work? How does this work? Like I was just kind of scared of like, I don't know if that makes sense. Just like a bunch of little things, and like it's like fine. Like I'm sitting here, I'm good. Like you end up figuring it all out. So I don't know.
I already kind of said like the change part, but I know that some current LaSalle 8th graders are probably thinking they're afraid of people from the other schools. And I was terrified of the people from the other schools. And now they're like some of my best friends. So just right away, I will say they are not as scary as they seem from far away. It's just hard to know someone when you've never really gotten to know them before you like sit next to them in a class or have an activity with them. So
I know this doesn't really pertain to this question a ton, but the other thing is too, with like the friends thing, is a good thing about high school is you will meet people and like have relationships with people that go to other schools just through activities that you guys do. And you might not be like super close, or you may be super close, but you build relationships with people from other schools, which I think is good because you get a new perspective other than Xavier.
Awesome. Thanks for adding that. All good points. Thanks, guys. What is your advice on how to make the most out of high school?
I just was thinking about this earlier because I was just trying to think of what I would say to this. And I feel like I spent and still spend so much time worrying about the next thing. It was always like I'd finish one thing, and instead of just taking a second to be like, this is great or whatever, I'd immediately start worrying about the next thing. So I would just say it's so much easier said than done, but just trying to like enjoy the moment, because you're always going to want this time back. Like, especially for us, like this is surreal, like going into senior year, it's like thinking back to our first day of freshman year, like I don't remember it really because I was so worried the whole time and I didn't just sit and enjoy it and like feel present. And that's so cliche, but just being present and really enjoying the small things is so important.
Mine is kind of a stereotypical answer, but just like getting involved, like trying whatever, like, I don't know, just signing up for a random thing that you maybe thought, I can't do this, or I didn't think I would maybe do this. Like I signed up for cross country beginning of junior year, and now it's like one of my favorite things ever. And I never thought I would like be running cross country or something. So it's just like, try something you maybe wouldn't think you would want to try or something, you know, but.
I'd say, obviously it's really hard not to do this. I do it plenty, especially when it comes to schoolwork and stuff, but don't stress if you don't have to. Like, don't put yourself in under so much stress that like you're so tunnel vision on, okay, this is what I have to do, then I have to do this, then I have to do that. Kind of like Samantha's, just like live in the present, enjoy every moment. Like hang out with friends as much as you can, have fun, and don't worry about it. Just, I mean, have a good time and enjoy high school, because after you leave high school, you can't go back. So.
Okay, I think we're gonna go off of Hope's thing. How do you get involved at Xavier? Since you've mentioned getting involved quite a bit.
A lot of the time, like the activities office is a good place to start, or like you'll probably like get emails from people to like join this or join a summer sport, or like there's like ways to like, or you can just go to anyone for help. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
And just like listen around for things, because like I remember freshman year being in like the big things but not really in clubs and stuff like that. And then I would hear an announcement, or I'd hear someone in the hallway talk about, are you going to Spanish club? I heard they're having like cake today, and so sign me up, I'll go to Spanish club. So it's like you just join like little things that you just kind of hear about from other people.
I'd say if you have a question about something too and you know somebody is involved with it, you can go to them, talk to them. Because obviously if you talk to a senior or junior, even though you might think it's a little bit scary, it's not. We don't bite. We'll give you good advice, and a lot of times coaches teach at Xavier, or program directors teach at Xavier. So you can go talk to them maybe during Excel or after school and see what they have to say about it too. So.
Cool. All right, let's make this the last question. Is there any advice that you have to the 8th graders coming in, anything that they should know? If you were an 8th grader coming into Xavier's, or something you wish someone would have told you? Any parting thoughts?
I would just say to realize that everyone else is going through this with you. Like, you're not alone, especially in this time, how like this craziness that's going on right now. Just realize that you're not the only one that's probably nervous. You're not the only one that's like worried about this. Like, you have other people that you can like turn to and go for help, and like it'll all work out fine. So yeah.
I would also add to that, just like embrace every moment. Like, there are gonna be so many embarrassing things, and like just it's natural. Like, I feel like you just have to embrace everything that happens and just be like so grateful for all of it, because it's like I said, living in the moment. Now I wish I was more grateful for like being at Xavier the past few years, because it's really great there. And yeah, I just wish I would have like taken a little bit more time to really embrace it and be grateful.
I'd say like the best thing for me in high school is the friendships and like the brotherhood, or if you're in a female sport, sisterhood, that you have when you participate in something with a group of people and are on a team with a specific group of people. It is just insane how close you guys are, how much time you spend together. They become your second family. And when you go out on, if you play football, when you go out on Friday nights on the field and you win a game and the whole community is behind you and stuff, that's literally the coolest feeling ever. And so like being in that situation with people that you are really good friends with and like consider family, it's awesome. So just do as much stuff as you can and make as many bonds as you can. So, yep.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing all your wisdom and knowledge that you've gained over the last 3 years at Xavier. I'm going to push the stop button now.